Yes. Hi, you guys. Good day and welcome to the Farm Ops Key Training Program organized by eBet Technology that we started some days ago. I hope you guys are learning and you are enjoying the program. Today, we will still continue the modules of the training, and today we'll be talking about very important topic that I believe is very important for your livestock industry, your livestock business, to be productive because you know how to manage diseases on your farm, the control method, what you need to do, and how you need to do it. And I think before I proceed, I would like to tell you people out there that it is very good for you to like this channel, to subscribe for it, and for those people that are learning on this platform, it is also good for you to share it to others to also learn from as well. So welcome on board, welcome on board, welcome on board. I said earlier that today we will be talking about poultry diseases and management. So I want to tell you that it's very important for you to enjoy what AgroSeed is doing. You need to download the mobile app. The mobile app is very good for diseases diagnosis. You need it because it's using AI method for diseases diagnosis, all livestock diagnosis. All what you need to do is to take the pictures of your clinical signs, is to take the picture you can see, and when you upload it online, I can tell you the system is going to suggest for you the category of diseases that is likely affecting your birds, that is affecting your farm, and give you the prescription that you need to use for drugs and some other things. And on the app, you can also get online consultation from a veterinary doctor that can easily speak to you, ask you some clinical signs you are seeing, and guide you through what you need to do on your farm. So go ahead, just go to Google Play Store and download that. Yes, I said we'll be talking about diseases control and management about poultry. But before we proceed, I would like to tell you that we all need to understand what is disease. And disease is an abnormal condition that is caused by infection, and we are talking about disease, it brings weakness, and it can occur due to environmental stress as well. There are a lot of things that causes diseases on poultry farm. We have virus infection, we have bacteria, we have fungi, we have parasitic infection. We'll be looking at all those things in summary form. Permit me to say that in summary form because we don't have much time to drive through into the each categories of diseases. We'll just mention it, and I believe by saying that we'll be able to point out important things that you guys need to know about those particular condition, particular diseases that is affecting poultry industry, and how you can prevent your own farm from having such infection. And I think AgroSeed is there. AgroSeed app is there to assist you. AgroSeed has been launched in Nigeria to help people mitigate against infectious diseases in livestock industry. So let's continue. Let's proceed. I will start because of our time. I will go straight to the points by talking about common poultry diseases, the ones that are very common prevalent in our environment and that we always encounter on a daily basis. Number one is pullorum. For those of us that want to plan, because Christmas is approaching now, and I'm very sure you guys will be preparing want to raise broilers for Christmas, broilers for New Year, and these are things you need to know and to be aware about. Fluoride diseases affect chicken a lot, even from the hatchery. We carry the symptoms from the diseases from the hatchery. So when they arrive on your farm, sometimes you can notice that some bells will be having dropping feathers, raw feathers, whitish diarrhea and things like that. So that is why it is important. Remember in the first videos I said, when you collect your bells from hatchery, it's very, very important you place them on glucose and antibiotics from day 1 to day 5. For those people that are also watching for the first time, I will refer you to that video. Go and watch the first video we posted about how to run a poultry farm in Nigeria that we started some days ago. So plural disease is very important. And when we are talking about administration of drugs in poultry, I would like to say this, that it is very, very important for you to know that sometimes if you use one drug for poultry to address these diseases of poultry, it may not work. You need to use 2 combinations of drugs sometimes because of the resistance that is prevalent in the environment. So it is very, very important. Once you have your bells on the farm, you bring them in. The first day, keep the race running by starting with the right thing you need to do. Give them antibiotics, place them on good multivitamin, as this will help to boost their immunity. So that's about Pulorum. Another thing that is very, very common is coccidiosis. Coccidiosis is very common. Sometimes people turn their business to zoological garden. When you are doing business, especially in poultry, it is not something you expose to people and you start saying, oh, my friend, come around, come and watch this. I have 50 broilers, I have 100 broilers. No, you have to keep people away from your business. What I mean by that, it will not help them bringing in foreign bodies, foreign diseases into your farm, because you are allowing anybody to come to your farm that can expose your birds. Now, when you are talking about coccidiosis, it is very important. There are anti-coccidian drugs that can be used to prevent this. And in the program of your the program you'll be running for your farm, it must be inclusive. What I mean by that is that it must be there. And I used to advise people based on my experience that every two weeks interval, ensure you repeat anti-coccidian drugs for your bells, especially people who are keeping layers, people who are keeping pullets that want to become layers, people who are keeping broilers. Broilers used to come down with coccidiosis infection. And if you are having a larger number, I mean from 500 and above, I advise people to buy anti-coccidian vaccine. You have Lavacos, you have Immucos. It can be used to prevent this type of disease. There are ways to use that. Experts can handle that for you. They can advise you on how to use anti-coccidian vaccine for your bells on the farm. But if you cannot afford that because it's very expensive, you're just having 50 beds, you're just having 75, you're just having 100 or even less than 50, just go for anti-coccidian drug. But put it in mind that every 2 weeks you'll be repeating it for them so that they will not come down with it. At least that will serve as a preventive dosage for them. So ensure using shuttle program is another thing you need to know, that if you are trying to prevent coccidiosis, what I mean by shuttle program is this. Now, there are different brands, there are different classes of drugs that can be used. We have sulfur drug, we have Totrasuri, we have some other products too like that, but majorly 2 things that are very important: sulfur drug and the Totrasuri are good to take care of coccidiosis. So what I mean by that is that the first day you are treating, assuming you are treating this coccidiosis this week, you are preventing this week, you can use sulfur drugs. When you are administering the drug again, in the next 2 weeks again, you can use tetracycline drug. So that's what I mean by shuttle program. Don't base your treatment on one particular drug, as this can bring a resistance. In fact, oocytes, which used to cause coccidiosis, will circle very fast, and they have high resistant ability. What I mean by they have high resistant ability, they clone themselves easily, that if you use one particular drugs, they can be resistant to it and it will not be effective. So ensure to always use shuttle program. So once you use one this week, next week, use another one on your farm. It's very important. Well, another thing that is important again that I would like to talk about is Gumboro diseases. Gumboro diseases. Yes, this can only be prevented by vaccination. Yes, in fact, if care is not taken, this can easily wipe a whole stock away, a whole flock away. A flock of 1,000 can just remain 50, 70, or even less than 100, or even just a little bit above 100. So that is why farmer must put it in mind. It is very good at the onset of your business. Remember, I told you that business is not a gamble game. It's not what you want to put in money and do trial and error, because if you do trial and error, definitely you are going to lose the moment the business. But if you mean business, get adequate information you need and proceed to excel. And that is why AgroSeed is there to help you, to position you better, and to do something for you that will help you in the business to achieve good productivity. Now, Gumboro diseases, yes, it can be prevented by vaccine. Vaccination is very important. I will still talk a little bit about that. So it can be prevented by vaccination at day 11 and day 21. That is when you can use it. You use that at least 10 days interval, 10 days interval from the first dosage. The booster dosage comes after. I can assure you, once you follow that, then you can be rest assured that your bells will be secure from having Gumboro diseases, from having IBD. We call it infectious bursal diseases, bronchitis, infectious bronchitis, infectious diseases. So Gumboro diseases can be prevented. There are two categories for the vaccine that are available in the market. We have the one for intermediate, we call it Gumboro 2. We have the one for intermediate plus. Now, the difference between intermediate and intermediate plus is this. If a farmer has experienced this condition on his or her farm before, then it is advisable to go for intermediate plus when you are having another stock. But if it's a new farmer that has not experienced such diseases on his or her farm before, then you go for Gumboro 2 alone. I hope you understand. So there is a difference between using Gumboro 2 and Gumboro 3. A farmer that has been exposed before, if the farmer used Gumboro 2, there is high probability of exposing again to the same diseases, because Gumboro 2 is not strong enough to prevent the birds from coming down. So rather, the farmer should go for Gumboro 3. I hope you understand. Thank you. Yes, Newcastle diseases is another one again that affects farm. This is one of the endemic diseases, because especially to those farmers that are keeping layers farm, they can testify about it, that even during their laying period, when the birds are started laying, they still experience what they call Newcastle diseases. Like the one I mentioned previously, the coccidiosis, the pullorum, the Gumboro, those one always, affect bells that range between week 1 probably to week 14, 15. They don't used to affect bells that are above that age. But Newcastle disease is prevalent even when a bird is adult. Turkey, wherever, talk of class of birds, Newcastle diseases still affect them at any age level. And we have two types of forms that used to occur. We have respiratory form, we have nervous form. One that causes respiratory infection that affect the respiratory system, and the one that causes paralysis. Now you can see the picture I'm showing you now. This is what is called torticollis. Yes, this is what is called torticollis. You see them, you see the birds raising the head up, gasping for air, turning on the floor, showing the clinical signs. And that is why ACOSIC has tried to work to position a lot of things to help farmers in Nigerians, to help a lot of farmers in the whole world. We have a robust, developed app that can help you to diagnose all these diseases without stressing yourself. All what you just need to take is that you take pictures of what you are seeing in the clinical signs, you input it on the app, and you can get results and you can get a recommendation. And not only that, not only just doing that, there is a solution on ground. And the solution is that you may be thinking that, oh, you need a vet to consult for you. You cannot pay to employ a vet on your farm, but with a token subscription on our app, you can get access to free consultation, online consultation. The doctor will call you, advise you, tell you what you need to do, how you need to do it, and once you are able to do it, you get a positive result. So Newcastle diseases is very prevalent in Nigeria, and farmers must always ensure that they do all their possibility best to prevent it. I tell people that prevention is better than treatment, because when you are talking about treatment, it makes you to spend a lot of money. It affects GIT of your birds. They are not eating enough. They lose weight. All the money you spend, you may not be able to recover it. At the expenses, the cost of production will be too high, and that may not bring a good profitability for you in your business. So prevention by this can be done through Lasota and Comoros vaccine. So don't let it be new to you. Now, we can't be teaching all in details. We are just trying to mention, because we are trying to expose you guys, be familiar with all these diseases, so that be familiar with all these things. But we are still available, open to questions, open to a lot of things that is going to help you online. When you ask us questions, we respond to it, and we position you better to excel your business. Another one I will talk about is chronic respiratory diseases. Yes, I'm very sure many of us will have encountered such things, that you will see your birds sneezing, having this mucus discharge from the nostril, and we are wondering what is causing this. Is chronic respiratory diseases. Majorly, it affects livestock, birds, both cattle, and name them. Chronic respiratory and affect them. Now, but in chicken, the clinical signs you'll be seeing grunting sound. You see most of the times breeders. In fact, most of the hatchery have some this kind of chronic respiratory diseases that affect as a parent stock, because sometimes parent stock also determines what the offspring will be having. What do I mean by that? Some hatchery have some peculiarity of what that things that affect their birds. Another one, A may specify and tell you that, oh, if you are taking birds from us, what affects our birds is CRD. So please ensure in your programs there is a CRD programs that prevents against that. Another one may tell you that so something is affecting our own birds. Please ensure in your programs you have these that prevent against it. So that is why it is very, very important that the source of your birds are well known. You get a professional to advise you so that you won't fall into wrong hands, so that you won't buy a wrong bet and you won't start having issue without having because you don't have proper vaccination programs or proper guidance that will mentor you and the business. Hey, another thing is bowel infection. Yes, I'm very sure many of us would have seen these kind of things before. You know, something like nodules on the head, on the comb and wattle affecting chicken. Yes, it can be prevented. And how can you prevent it? You can only prevent it by vaccination. It can be prevented by vaccination, but in a case when it happens, the treatment line that can be used, you can use sulfur drugs, you can use ampicillin, and there are some brand of drugs, pot cure in the circulation that you can buy and also use as well. Well, yeah, this is a typical example of the vaccination program. This is a typical example of vaccination program. Yeah, now about vaccination program, let me just talk a little bit about it. Different hatchery have their own problem, as I've said earlier before. So if you are getting bells from CHI, for example, there are vaccination programs that CHI can give you. If you are taking from Agritech can have their own vaccination program. They are giving you, if you are taking from a passenger farm, there are vaccination programs. So there is no any specific vaccination program. This can be depend based on the environment you are wearing the belts and the source you are getting it from. Those are the two things you need to know. So vaccination program can depend on the source or environmental condition which bells are being reared. It's very, very important. But I tell people it is good, it is cheaper to prevent with vaccine than treatments. Yes, treatment is very, very expensive. In fact, nowadays, poultry drugs are very, very, very costly and high. So why can't you just prevent with vaccine and you are not bothered, or you become more confident that your bells are going to perform well. Yet, Aggrosity have to help you to do three things. Diagnosis, there is a vet consultation on our app, and you can place order of vet products and you get delivery. Yes, we are reliable. So you can place order for vet products and you get delivery. Easily you can get diagnosis and consultation online. I tell people it's very rare to see vet around, but Aggrosity brings a solution to that by making veterinary profession available everywhere you are. If you are in Castina, if you are in Kaduna, if you are in Anambra, you are in Southwest, Southeast, Northeast, North-South, all over Nigeria, you are covered. All what you just need to do is to download the app. You see a contact there. You see a lot of things where you can upload your clinical science, upload your edition. You can speak to a veterinary doctor and you can order for products and services. Yes, for those people that have been talking to us and say, oh, we still want to learn more, we need a lot of information to guide us through about our poultry farm, about our fishery farm. Well, at Aggrosity, there is an ebook we have with us, ebook on fish and poultry farming available. There is one for fish and there is one for poultry. Now, the ebook cost is 10,000 naira. But for the benefit of our listener, for the benefit of our people, we are going to subsidize it to 5,000 naira. Yes. So, and the window is just going to be open for few people alone, for first 30 people that request for it, that are interested. It's not mandatory. It's just a guide that helps people that want to venture into the business truly, or if you are in the business, you still want to know more, have better deep knowledge. on how to run a successful poultry farming, how to run a successful fishery farming, then you can get across to us to get our ebook. Is just 5,000 naira. It's 10,000 naira, but has been subsidized based on this program to 5,000 naira. So if I am at your position, what I will do is to get across to the vets and let them know that I'm interested. So if they're interested, just on the WhatsApp, just let us know that you are interested about the ebook, then you will be carried along about it. Well, thank you for listening. This is where we are going to stop for today. And we still continue about the program. You know, I told you we still have a lot of things to share with you. We still talk about the marketing and the marketing strategy you will need to use to sell your farm outputs and how you need to go about it. I can tell you more secrets will still be reviewed about that because we have some companies that are ready to take all your farm outputs on your farm. But how do you know them? Don't worry, Agro 6 seminar will expose you to that. Farm Upkeep 1 will expose you to that. That is why I keep telling people that on this YouTube channel, ensure you like us, ensure you subscribe, and ensure you share it so that others can also benefit from it. So thank you very much. I appreciate you for listening. Please take care of yourself. Bye.